Hey guys, this is Derek.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
And welcome to Love Puerto Rico. Just thank you guys for being here again, and we're excited to try to get this back going on a more continuous basis.
It's gonna be a little rough until we get it together.
Just a little rocky, a little rough until we get back our flow. It's kind of like once you stop doing something for a while, you do have to kind of get that momentum back and get a consistency back. So I guess that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So it may be a little rough, but
trying to figure out the flow again, in a new place and
so
new
true.
environment is always an adjustment. Trying to just find your rhythm and find your flow, and especially just coming back doing these videos. They're not easy to do. Just sit here and talk to the video and
no people in the room.
People in the room.
No emotions to bounce off of other people.
Yeah. But I have been practicing more than Derek's because of See Me Beautiful, so I should be a little bit better, but I think I'm throwing us off today.
No, you were just saying something where you say just trying to get into a rhythm. And I think, like you said, you talked about that in one of your videos for See Me Beautiful. But, it is important to establish like rhythms. It is even from a biblical standpoint. That's why we have, seasons, and they have the festivals and all those different things. But, I think there's importance to rhythms. And I think that's what, our challenge has been, to try to establish some type of rhythm. But when you're in a new place, that gets thrown off because, we had a rhythm. We had a rhythm where we were, but now we're trying to not get back, but really establish a rhythm that's for here.
Yeah, and then I think we were working on being consistent there, even in Texas. We just where we were going, what we were doing. Developing what we saw Puerto Rico in our lives,
what that looked like,
looked like. And then when you have those things, you're going for those things in your life, and God is telling you, oh yeah, you need to go for this, you need to do this, or you need to pull back, and then things just abrupted, or you make change, or like we moved, even though we had ideas, but even in the move, so much things changed, even with the idea of what we had before we moved. So now we're here.
Right.
And the question is, how do we move forward?
Yeah. I think that's what we were kind of talking about this morning. Even, going back, things do change. There are a lot of things that transpired, since we've moved here, even before here. But of course, just like everybody else, when the virus hit, that changed everything. You have to start to reevaluate different things, and for us, it meant reevaluating, what is God's plan for us? What is His plans for us as it relates to Puerto Rico and just our lives in general? So, we stand here today. We're here in Florida, and it's like, okay, Lord, you told us to come here, that there is something for us here. How do we take what God has spoken to us and make it applicable to moving forward? Because you can easily get stuck, looking back, or get stuck in the planning, constantly planning.
Yeah, I think we've all had moments, the girls, Darius, even Daniel, at school of, God, we moved, Now what?
Just break it all the way down.
Should we even be here? We said the same thing when we moved from Mississippi to Texas. But, now I think the first steps of moving forward has just been practical things and just adjusting to life here and trying to even figure, those things out. Just how does life look for us? And I think we might have shared this before, but I think that's been the biggest thing for me. And then now you throw on top of it, okay, God, what are you saying for us to do? And we know, I think Darius prayed the other day, like, okay, all the promises and all the things that God has spoken and all the things that we've had in our heart, don't let us forget, or don't let us not believe that his promises won't be fulfilled. And we know God will perform it and he will do it, but it's just us.
It takes, like when you say when we were praying, and those actually have been one of the practical steps to moving forward, was us coming to this place of returning, to him, just spending time with him together. And during those times, God has, reminded us of his promises to us, and that we have to hold on to those promises, and whatever's in our heart that may want to hinder us believing, or if there's some, emotional stuff, or if there's some stuff in our past that wants to prevent us from believing what he has said, and it's preventing us from move forward, we're asking him to remove those, any barriers that would prevent us from moving forward. We have to, in honesty before each other, and I think before God as well, is, what am I feeling? Am I feeling afraid? And just articulate, but also articulate to each other, but also surrender to God, so that our hearts can be open for what is ahead. Because it's easy to get stuck, and I can't get stuck.
Yeah. I think too, and moving forward, we've been asking ourselves questions along the way. Okay, does this feel right? Or this, God, are you saying, do we stay here? Do we go here? Do we do this? Is this a red flag? Because before, we live in Texas, and a lot of things that we might have overlooked in our lives, and we might have just
accepted it, or settled it, whatever word you want to use.
But now, where we are today, we don't have to do that. We can say, okay, God, we know what you see for our lives, and we can.
If we need to walk away from something, we can walk away. If we need to stay, we can stay. But, it's trusting what God has said for our lives. And then honestly, what I've recognized more than anything, at least over the last month or so, and even just a couple of months, is learning to trust each other.
Yeah.
Because that has been really key, for us to move forward. And I can say, just for me personally, me trusting my wife's
wives.
Ain't got no concubines. I don't think we're doing it like that. That was Old Testament. We ain't doing no concubines, but trusting like her feeler, I guess if you can say it like that she does feel different things, and before that would instead of it causing a red flag for the situation, it will cause a red flag in me. It's like, oh, why is she feeling that, and different things like that. So I think God is building a trust for each other, so that we can move forward. Because if we don't trust each other, because we know our marriage is the foundation for anything we do, and if we can't trust each other for real, not just saying because we married, we got to trust each other, that's what you're supposed to do. But unless we actually really trust each other, we can't move forward, and we can't build anything. Because anything that God is asking us to do, we got to co-labor with him. But this is my co-laborer partner.
Yeah.
We can't do it without each other.
Yeah, we can't.
We cannot do that.
But even there's, on the other hand of that, I think in this season we're learning to trust others too.
Yeah,
because
before,
in the 10 years of,
we had a little, kind of.
But it still was,
there was,
it still were moments where it was us, and still were moments it was others.
Right.
So, it wasn't just either or, it was both. But today, I don't want to blame anybody or anything, or say something has prevented me from doing something, or this stopped me from doing something, or because when we got to Texas, we were younger and kid stage and finding our way, and we were
we were in survival mode.
And then just young, still young in God. Even though we both knew God and we both loved God, we both were ministers, we had called us, but it's still a lot of things we didn't know.
Have an experience that you get through wisdom. to learn and acquire wisdom, I guess.
But today, we're not, God is with us, and He's preparing us, and He's showing us. So in this state, in this area, in this place where we are in our life, the maturity has come, and the level of knowledge that we have, and we're still growing and still learning. Never stop learning, stop growing. But there are things that we don't have to settle for, and there's things that we can say no to, and there's things that we can trust God even more for, and
say yes
to a lot of more things that we didn't say yes to. Because our lives are changing. Kids are growing up, and we're about to be empty nesters soon. You know, a lot of things. You know, like me and Darius, like, do we want a big old house with a whole lot of land? No. That's not us. We want to be as
like on
flexible as possible.
What's the show we used to watch all the time? House Hunters.
Yeah.
We want to be in the city center.
Yeah.
You know, like they always say on the show. But that's us. I don't want to be out somewhere and have to drive 30 minutes to get to the grocery store and stuff like that. That's just not like for us. Mm-hmm. And that's okay that we can say, yes, that's what we like. And it's okay with that. And I'm glad that we're coming to that place of saying, oh, hey, here's who we are, and we can be unashamed of that. But I think also in the process what God is doing, even with that, us knowing some things, I do, and I've said this again, I see just a greater humility in us to surrender to each other, but also surrender to what God is doing in our lives. And it's been really important of this place of humility that God is, inviting us into, and we're accepting that.
But guys, today, if you take away anything from us today, live your lives based on what God has for you and what you just expect for yourself. You love yourself, you love your family, you love who you are, you trust in what God has given you to do, and you do those things, not basing it on anybody else or anything anybody else has said. Me and Darius have lived that for so long, but now we're coming to a place where it's just about God. It's just about what He said, and just about not looking to anybody else to dictate or to say what is needed to be done in our lives. It's only for us to say, okay, God, you are so ever present within my heart, within who I am, and I trust your leadership. It's us today trusting God's leadership and where we go and what we do. And that's what and where to love Puerto Rico is.
And that's where today. It's going in the future or whatever. Yeah. That's what we want, to just follow His leadership. And we're trusting that, removing all the fears and shame and guilt and the stuff that we have done,
afraid,
all that stuff, the successes, the highs, the lows, just taking all of that and surrendering that to God and saying, you are the best leader. We're going to follow you, whatever that looks like.
Stay in the moment with Him in every day of your life. But guys, we love you, and this is To Love Puerto Rico.
And To Love Tiffany.
See you next time.
See you guys.
Bye.
That's what's up.